Okay, so Love and Marriage Huntsville had a lot of Tiffany drama, family stuff, and a lot of Tisha Scott's family drama stuff. And wasn't too much of anybody else going on in this episode. But let's get into it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Ciao. Ooh, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Season 4, excuse me, episode 11. Got my notes, flipping through. Yes, yes, yes. Why, as soon as I get on, I need some water. Hold on, hold on. I mean, how rude. I'm here recording and carrying on. Okay, like I said, Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 4, episode 11. It was a lot of Tiffany and her issues, family dramas, um, and Tisha's family's issues here and over there and over there and over here. It was like the Tiffany and Tisha show tonight. Um, there's that recap they had. I'm gonna tune into that and see what happens. I think that was Tisha, Tiffany, and Destiny. I think it was. Yeah, that's gonna be cute. Anywho, uh, we kind of start off a little bit with Tiffany. She looking for her daddy. Still looking. You know, she found her mom, and okay, so the story is according to, what transpired tonight and the previous week. So Tiffany, like I said, she found her mom before. Her mom gave her context clues as to who the daddy may be. Um, Interesting. She was young, and apparently at that time she was born, it wasn't far too off. It wasn't far off from illegal marriages and things of blacks and whites. So you know, it was real interesting to hear the backstory to her mom. I mean, okay, we all heard of, stories about blacks and whites getting together, success stories and whatnot. Well, her mom's was not a success story. It was a typical ashamed of, and she gave her up for adoption, uh, which is why she's looking for her birth father. Um, she has reservations about telling her parents because she doesn't want them to feel away. Um, that's sweet. That's real sweet. But of course, Tiffany needs to do this for her. So she's talking to her husband about it, talking to Mel about it, and pretty much, she's just really want to look for her father. Now, later on in the okay, I'm just gonna tell it just in not in blocks going back and forth because it's really only two characters we talking about. Okay, so we just gonna continue with Tiffany and then move on to Tisha and her foolishness. So continuing with Tiffany, um, looking for her dad. Her mom was she was out there, according to a fellow neighbor of her birth mother's. She ran into him. He owns, I think, a barber shop, and just by chance, she showed him a picture of what her mom looked like then, and he said, "Oh yeah, 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 I knew her." Just out the blue, like wow. Um, on the car ride in, Mel did say, because of all of the problems between blacks and whites back then, um, her mom could have been ashamed and whatnot. But according to the random neighbor of her birth mother back then, the shop owner, she was popular, and he said, she was around us a lot. You know, she was one of those white women who were, infatuated and fascinated with black men. And just so happens, even she met them when she was pregnant, is what he said. So if she was always coming around and whatnot with the men pregnant, I'm pretty sure we can all guess why she was sent away to have the baby. You know what I'm saying? And to return without it. It sounds like her family was definitely not definitely not with integration. Hello. And so she's really interested to find her father. Now, of course, the father is black, but it's going to be difficult, because it's like a needle in a haystack. She thought she found one person who was her dad, and turned out it wasn't. Real interesting, real interesting. So Tiff and Mel talk more about her life, and about because Tiffany's thinking about having a baby. Girl, okay. So it come to find out, Lewis is complaining already. He don't have enough time. So Mel's like, listen to your man, girl, because that's a context clue that your husband's needs need to be met. So she goes off, well, I do get home at 11 or whatever, still sucking dick and still giving up ass. So it's not like he ain't getting affection, but like, I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you for the gory details, but we just need to know that you are still satisfying that man sexually, according to you. However, if he's still complaining about time, girl, maybe maybe it ain't just about sucking and PHUCKING. Girl, see, are you cooking for the man? Are you, taking some time for, him? Apparently not. It's just long as you satisfying him sexually according to what you think you're doing, then I guess it's okay. But you have to be a little, unbiased here, and check yourself at the door, and kind of, put yourself in his big old shoes, and, see it for and play the role according to how he sees it. You really have to not you really have to give in as a wife. You really have to not give yourself away, but you really have to give in and let your man know what's up. Um, and really hone in on what he needs. A man needs a woman in his life. When it's a man and a woman together, there's a need for her in his life. Not that he wants it, it's a need. And from my understanding, you really need to hone in on your man's needs and communicate, not just giving him, throat and goat. Just, hone in on what he's talking about. And like you said, how you gonna fit in a baby when I'm over here dehydrated? What else on my notes about Tiffany? Let's see, her daddy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she was really worried about her parents, her father specifically. She was really worried about them and how they would take the news. But her dad just, both her parents want her, Tiffany, to be what she needs, and to get what she needs, whatever that is. And it doesn't hurt them, which is wonderful that they said that. It's well enough to know, but it's more of a security blanket in the relationship when you hear it who come out of the mouths of whomever you're having this with. So that's good that they're open and very communicative with her. So she is feeling secure because again, you still need to deliver the information to whoever needs to hear it, no matter if you think they know already how you feel. It is very important to do that. Okay, what else with Tiffany and Mel talking about? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was real interesting to hear, the different dynamics of people in their lives and lifestyles throughout the years and decades. What we read in the history books and what we know through documentaries and what have you. It's really interesting to see it being played out as a real life thing with someone you kind of know, with this reality TV. Those moments like that are genuine. Those moments are priceless and they should always be captured. It's just, we need to tone down on the foolishness and the fighting and carrying on that really plagues reality TV. Um, I'm not even gonna mention certain networks and shows. We know certain things are trash, and luckily Love and Marriage Huntsville ain't. That's right. So we're gonna move on to the next story. And it was just Tisha, okay? That's all I remember. Anybody remember anything else besides Tiffany and Tisha and their extensions? Yeah, okay. So moving on. Tisha, girl. Wanda show Wanda shows the her investors, which is Tisha and Marcel, the food truck. Child, I got a big LOL next to it. Just now how they chopped and screwed this scene made it seem like Wanda was getting played with this person who can do the inside and the outside, the whole fix the whole truck up. 40,000 to fix it up, and then another 100. So now it's 140. I remember it being 70K when she questioned some folks. And then, oh, no, no, no. I'm getting it confused with Child, listen. I'm getting it confused with Brian from Candy and the Gang. Child, all these damn food trucks. Shout out to Brian from Candy and the Gang, okay? Oh, I wonder what's going on if you got his food truck. I'm gonna go back out there and see. Anyway, back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. So pretty much I remember 100K was being discussed. Um, and so I wonder, is this 40 on top of the 100, or is this mixed in with the 100? Because 60 left over would kind of equal what I was referencing when I was confusing Brian's from Candy and the Gang situation, because I remember he met with someone and they said 70. So you kind of just figure 100, 30,000 for whatever. Probably won't get to 100, but anyway. So I just kind of figure 60 and 70, that's pretty much about the same. So 10,000 less than what we heard on Candy and the Gang. So I'm like, okay, 100. So I'm just thinking, is the 40 on top of the 100 for the truck? Because Marcel was looking through that truck, knowing how bad of a of a condition it's in, and making all these threats and bets about the demise of not receiving that money, knowing the bets and threats are based off of his knowledge of what he's looking at on that truck. See, he's all manipulating self. Um, Wanda, stay on them. Regardless, stay on them. But at the same time, you got to know how to run that truck. You got to know certain things, so it will be beneficial that Wanda do whatever Marcel say, as far as she can just wash one dish. Okay, cool. I know how to wash a dish. What's next? Just play his games. Play his game. But at the same time, Marcel was adamant about, no, this ain't gonna work. And Tisha's like, no, we are going to help her. We are, yes, we are doing this regardless. And he's just trying to convince Tisha not to, in all kind of ways. Tisha's like, no, we gonna do this for my mama. Period. that all she's saying, everything she's saying, but period. Okay. So next we have this big old issue at Wanda's food tasting. Now, if anybody from LA would know, this is a knockoff of the meat and taters. We had a chain of meat and taters restaurants. There were two. There was one on El Segundo Boulevard, and there's another one over on Florence and Airport area, like leaving Inglewood going into the LAX area. Anyway, I knew that looked familiar because I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, so anyway, this place used to be called Meat and Taters, Meat and Taters, where it was a baked potato and it was stuffed in a little bit, dug out a little bit or just opened up, and it was stuffed and food placed on top. Like they would have, it was the favorite in the restaurant was the mac and cheese, and oh, I just forgot the other part of that meal. Anyway, they had like Wanda serving, very similar but not gaudy looking. It looked very presentable. It was, I think, she just serving too much of the food, and it needs to be, she's has, well, first of all, she has these humongous potatoes. I don't know where these potatoes come from, but the potato is like two of my hands, and I'm grown. Okay, I'm grown. So I'm putting two of my hands together right now, and it looked like that big old potato because the way she gripped it like a football. Child, listen, I ain't ever seen a potato that big. Regardless of that, I have seen large potatoes. However, the meal itself, it looked like she was packing too much food on there, and it was always a nice meal. Like, man, um, I don't know if she is affiliated with the family who ran that, but they went defunct like what, early 90s? I'm gonna look that up. But yeah, meat and taters, and um, I remember it was a family, a business, and um, I just really wonder. I really wish. I really wonder what happened to those people, because either they know each other or it's a knockoff and it may be an issue legally. So that's something that's real interesting. Anyway, at her food tasting, Wanda's food tasting, it was a big old Tisha family out, and so the family was getting on Marcel about all this stuff going on in, in social media, things that look very suspicious, the stuff that we all talk about. The last was some Uncle Buddy or somebody's a cousin or somebody. He was going off on Marcel, going off on Marcel about how he's responding to things and not being clear and trying to run game and calling us other side of the tracks and insinuating that we ain't shit and I'm like, well, dang. Marcel is like, man, but he deserves it because he deserves it. Look like it. Now, if I didn't see them getting on him harsh, like fight wise, and that they just, Tisha right there again. Tisha's allowing things to go on, but at the same time, Marcel can handle it, right? Then towards the end, child, Kiki walk in and they start get to going, and that's where the episode ends. I'm like, oh man, they could have gave us a good 2 minutes of Kiki before they before they cut off to the next episode. Man, let's see if I forgot anything. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Oh, at the dog. T-Man. T-Man telling people he and his current boo that's present with him at the family function is having a baby. They just found out, I guess she peed on a stick or something at the house the week before last. So he telling everybody. And she's like, why are you telling people? Don't be telling people nothing. I mean, she sound like she wasn't gonna have a baby. Like, the way things go on in that family. Let me shut up. Oh, but yeah, and then Wanda got hot, red hot, serving all that food. You pregnant? What? He already going through a divorce, and you got and he always complaining about money. He don't have enough, and now you want to bring a baby into this world. And then after being questioned by Tisha, who kind of considers him as someone she helped to raise, girl, don't say that no more. Um, uh, she getting on him because just because you can have one don't mean you should. You, especially when you're talking about your finances ain't what you want them to be. I get it. Don't no grown man need to be making no babies if he can't take care of and have a life, not just pay for because he can afford to have the baby. But in this case, look like he can't even afford to have the baby. Because he waiting on that food truck to kick off. Child, see, girl, T-Man baby mama, girl, are you still pregnant, girl? If you not pregnant, just disregard what I'm about to say. Just disregard it. But if you are pregnant, girl, really? Now, so far we ain't heard nothing about you and what you got going on, but girl, why would you, girl? I'm just saying, it looked real, Ariane based, real Ariane based. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, it's real, you know, side order that don't nobody like. Looking real lima bean, looking real lima bean. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, you ain't even on the show, so I just had to say something because y'all was talking about it. So good luck. I think that's it. I think that's it for Love and Marriage Huntsville season 4, episode 11. Now tell me what you think about anything I said. Okay. Now for real, Tiffany, it's really not much to. I mean, well, okay, her and Lewis. She really needs to hone in. I mean, tell me if you agree or not. She really needs to hone in on making sure her and Lewis are okay in every way before bringing a lifelong distraction. Because, girl, 9 times out of 10, the baby is going to be with you. And that's not what you need to be thinking about. I'm just saying. And it's just 9 times out of 10, the baby's going to be with you, the mother. Unless you one of those mothers that leave a baby at weeks old and without not a care, but you know what I'm saying, who may not even wait till the 6 weeks to leave a baby. I'm just saying. Good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. And I know y'all got questions about Tisha and them, child. It's always questions. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Please like, please comment, please subscribe if you haven't, and please share and tell a friend about this. And coming soon is Ray Ray Nights. And it's going to be so live. It's going to be so on popping. And we're going to have fun. So, Ray Ray Night Live is coming soon. And for that, I will check you later.